saying rock and roll. This is Genocide. That's right. We're back, or we're still. You know what? You probably listened to it. Hey, we're back. We're in side B now.
Yeah, we are.
Eric, what have we learned in side A, and or what are some good reasons for people to go back and listen to side A if they?
For those, I can tell you we do have slightly fewer listens on sides A's than we do sides B's.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
It is interesting. Yeah. I would recommend that people go back and listen because really, if you haven't listened to side A, I'll try to keep it. I'll try to keep it a generalization.
Right. Give them some hooks too. Like talk about how much we burp into the microphone, because not every broadcaster does that for their audience.
No, not everybody does burp into the microphone.
Sean Hannity doesn't do that shit.
I wouldn't know. We talked about Dadaism. That was entertaining. Lots of cocaine. Talk.
We did so much cocaine
talk. We did so much cocaine.
We did a lot of cocaine talk.
We did not do any actual cocaine.
Nope.
I'm not even drinking alcohol. I'm drinking. Well, there's a tiny bit of alcohol in this because we've been using our Sodastream. So I do a calorie-free grapefruit. It's like a Fresca. Okay. And then I add a few drips of Angostura bitters to it, and it's very
Fresca,
refreshing.
By the way, it's Spanish for fresh.
Yes. But you can't call it that because Sodastream does not pay for the rights to the word Fresca or fresh. But yeah. So no substances other than artificial sweeteners going on here.
Damn.
And but yeah, the beginning is Dan has done an excellent job of setting up a narrative, explaining David Bowie's life and what's been going on as he progresses through his career, all the fascinating characters he meets and shuns and embraces in various forms.
And, maybe he shouldn't embrace some of them, but hey, you know what? That's
right. And all the shady business deals that have happened because he is an artist who was more concerned with art and cocaine than perhaps money and non-shady business deals.
Right. And who isn't,
Right.
I'm just now recognizing that we haven't played a single kind of unrelated video yet, so we might need to get to that. But we are in the tracks where we're in it. Eric, I'm going to ask you the question I asked you kind of awkwardly at the beginning of side A.
Yes.
You know what? Actually, if you want to know, if you have listened to side A, you know what the question is. But I'm going to give those of you who haven't a reason to go back, even though you will probably be able to figure it out from Eric's answer.
Well, with the not to restate the question. We're not going to restate the question.
No.
In the answer. That's really tough to do without restating the.
No, I mean you can. I can. Okay. You can give context clues.
Okay. Well, based on Aladdin Sane, based on what we've had as a progression, I kind of expected him to stay in a similar, like not a gigantic leap forward based on the time period between albums. I was expecting a little bit more of that kind of mix of kind of folksy, but also kind of rocky, just kind of maybe experimenting with some different sounds. Nothing too crazy because it's like Pinups comes so close after Aladdin Sane. Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
At least
they're right next to each other.
Right. So not a lot of time because he's been touring, he's been doing all this other stuff. Like let's take some of the themes from the previous album and then just repeat them, maybe refine them. And that's really what I was expecting with this particular album. And there weren't any high hopes, particularly because I think you had warned me that Pinups wasn't a particularly well liked album or ambitious album?
Based on what we have talked about before, and you're right, I did say that, but based on what we had talked about before, I would not have been surprised or have blamed you in any way if you were like, actually, I really kind of like this album. Like, I don't know that I was I had no idea what reaction I was expecting from you on this, but
do you remember my first impression of the album?
It was basically like, I think I might not like this album.
That was essentially it. Yes. Yeah. I got to the end. I'm like, I don't know. It might not be good.
I agree. It might not be good.
and more than it might not be, I guess from a different perspective, not necessarily judging it based on its merit, because of course there are good performances throughout. So the goodness of the album, whatever. But listening to it, not really understanding, like I knew some of these songs. So I knew that some of these songs were covers. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that it was a full cover album.
Right.
But listening to the technical aspects of it, I'm like, okay, well, it is kind of more of the same from Aladdin Sane. It's just
less effort.
Yeah, I mean, there's no, like, there's not as much of that jazz aspect, like the jazz piano that really gets interesting. There's nothing particularly compelling. And listening to the album all the way through, I went, well, I mean, it just kind of sounded like he put out an album. Yeah. It kind of sounds like he's a regular artist.
And I just kind of came to this while you were talking about that. It's the first album where, like, the concept is the only interesting thing about it.
And the concept is, as we discussed on side A, potentially fake. Potentially,
yes.
Maybe.
And that part's
just
kind of
a little
fun.
bit fake.
That part's kind of fun. But yeah, I think that this album is, I've been trying not to go here because it sounds colossally douchey, but there's kind of no other way to explain it. And I think that this anyone who is a fan of anything or anyone probably has a similar sort of phrase where it's like, this isn't a bad album, but it's a bad David Bowie album.
It's like, yeah, I can think of, well, They Might Be Giants is one of my favorite bands of all time. Right. There are albums that I listen to significantly less.
Right.
Albums that I listen to only when I'm listening specifically to the entire discography.
Right. And those, I'm guessing that sort of like me with this one, it's like, if you were talking to somebody about doing, it's like what I say about like Twin Peaks when people start watching it. I tell them, like, and I know I've said this before, watch the first 20 minutes or so, the pilot episode. If you're not into it, skip it. It gets good. The next one. Like, you're not really getting all of the things that make this person or this enterprise or whatever.
Yeah, you don't recommend
that people love.
You don't recommend this as the first.
No, God, no.
The first listen. Like, you wouldn't say, you know what, Twin Peaks, start season 2.
Well, yeah. This is season 2 of Twin Peaks in a lot of ways.
Actually, that would be interesting. Start season 2, and then when you get halfway through, go back to the beginning.
Start the episode after Laura Palmer's killer is, like, after that's resolved. Start with that specific episode where suddenly it's a sitcom.
Right. Get through those episodes and go back to the start. And then when you get back to those episodes again, just skip them. Because there's just, we don't need to get into that.
No. Except my sister really hates the James and Donna scenes, like, with a red hot passion. She hates them so much that when we were rewatching Twin Peaks, she refused to fast forward through them because she enjoyed how much she hated those characters.
She had to fuel her hatred. She's like, oh, James, let's get that freaking motorcycle.
I
Get on your motorcycle again, James.
and then at some point she admitted to me that she would be really happy if somehow they wrote in a scenario where they had to eat each other.
Wow. What's the name of the weird recluse that Donna falls in with that I also can't stand?
Oh God.
Can't remember. I can't think of his name now. I
I
hate
don't
that stuff
I
too.
don't know if I'm gonna get there. That one didn't bother me too much, but I get what you're saying. That is definitely not the best. Anyway, Rosalind.
Anyway, this ain't Twin Peaks. This is Bowiesplaining.
That's right. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost to the album where you finally get to understand where that stupid joke comes from.
Oh, good. Is that a Diamond Dogs
that's a
reference? Is
Diamond
Diamond
Dog-
Dogs next?
Diamond Dogs is next.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to not be impossible for that episode, but
Are we gonna have to do 4 episodes on that?
No, I really am going to try, but there's just a lot.
I mean, this is the rule from the other shows. If it's gonna be, if we need to do it, we could do 5 hours on Pirates of the Caribbean.
When we have.
And so if we need to do if we need to do a double album on Diamond Dogs.
Let's see what happens when we get there. I don't want to plan
one for each of the weird dog creatures.
Oh God. There's so much there. All right, let's go with Rosalind.
Rosalind.
Eric, do you know do you have any Rosalinds in your life?
No, I don't know any Rosalinds.
I know a lot of Roxannes, but I don't think any Rosalinds.
I don't know any Roxannes. I know of a Roxanne. My wife knows a Roxanne.
I know.
She's not listening. She's across the room, but she's not. She can. Oh, she said she can hear me. Oh no, she knows that I told somebody that she knows a Roxanne.
Yeah, I think I've known at least 5 Roxannes. It's a lot of Roxannes.
Yeah, I don't know any Rosalinds, and I don't know any Rosalinds either because it's pronounced differently between the original.
Oh, really?
Pretty Things and David Bowie.
Now
you pronounce it differently, David.
You brought something more to this than I would ever want to. You actually listened to the original versions.
So let me. Did you say Andrea? And Andrea. My wife said in commentary over here, which you could probably hear. I don't know. This is a pretty directional microphone. It is pretty and it's directional. Let's see. So yes, what I did, I created a playlist. I should probably make it public. It's on Apple Music. I know most people use Spotify, but I don't use Spotify. But I could make it public on Apple Music where I found the originals of each one of these songs. And because I wanted to know, once I realized it was a cover album, I wanted to hear the source songs for the ones that I wasn't familiar with. So I created a playlist that is Rosalind, then Here Comes the Night, Here Comes the Night. I wish you would, I wish you would. So Yardbirds, Bowie, Pink Floyd, Bowie. I'm
going to do something specifically to frustrate people.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to go ahead and play the original. Even though I refuse to play the version.
The original is I like the original.
All right, here's a little.
We'll get there, but
I mean, you kind of get an idea for the difference there. Just right there.
But so here's my take on the first track.
Yeah.
Bowie doesn't do anything with it other than say Rosalind instead of Rosalind.
That's true.
There's nothing other than it's Bowie singing it, and he does way more Bowie things in other tracks.
I find some of the choices he makes in a lot of this album are interesting to me. And one of them is on this track where it's like, why is he doing like my it's
That's
like
true, but that's not
swallowing
a
his
Bowie
own.
thing. It's just him being weird.
Right, right. I don't, yeah. Again, it's not like it's good that he's experimenting and
Yeah.
trying some things, but
But yeah, Here Comes the Night. The next one, he does more of a Bowie style of singing, the type of Bowie that we've heard before. I like the really hard cut between the two songs
oh yeah, that
where
is fun. There's
where
some.
Rosalind just cut, like big tempo change.
I always feel like the new song, the Here Comes the Night, is like being rocketed in. It's like, oh, here it comes.
Ah. Um, but yeah, if we're done with
I mean, we don't
Rosalind,
have to
because
be.
there's nothing else to. I
I'm
mean,
following your lead on this part entirely because I don't
okay.
give a shit about this song.
Hey, even better. But yeah, it's a good song. I mean, I guess it's kind of indicative of that time period as far as British rock is concerned. It's fast, it's catchy. It's a nothing song. It's a song about a lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Here Comes the Night. I really like the sax edition. So
Yeah.
Bowie bringing in his saxophone,
Right.
great. But his style is more like his Bowie-ness. The like, yeah, like just
Yeah. I do like that arrival feeling comes like kind of throughout the song. It's like it's almost like it feels like I'm being bombarded by like, oh, it's starting again. Oh, it's starting again. It's I like it. Production wise, I like it. I'm aware that he probably didn't do much with it, but
No, this is another one where the feel is very, very similar. I think the only difference is saxophone and Bowie's voice instead of Van Morrison.
right. But I do think that I guess what I was trying to get to is what few creative choices were made to make changes here, I like.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
good with that.
Yeah. And then I usually just skip to see Emily play and stop listening to the album. If I'm being really
so
honest.
You skip I wish you would. Okay. All right. So it's
and by the way, slow me down if you want to spend any more time on these tracks because like,
well, hey, we've got a show to fill here, and I've got notes, and I didn't realize the extent to which you cared so little for this
I
album.
really don't. I just thought we would. Yeah, honestly, I got to a place where I was like, I even did some research on the individual tracks, and it was just like he recorded his own version of this song, and that's the note. Like that's it.
Yeah, I meant to do some more research back when we were originally working on this, but that was a couple months ago, and
right,
life has moved on from there.
So okay, where it's minimal changes, but so far, guide me through your.
Okay, I have extensive notes on my thoughts on
yes, that's
what
I
want.
These
songs.
That's that's this. What's this show? That's what this show is. That's what we're here for.
Right. That is what we are here for. Is that?
Except we both usually forget the fact and start watching videos about dobro
harmoniums.
Yeah. Which I'm not
cue up another
of.
Harmonium. Let's talk about the intricacies of Moogs at the time. I wish I knew more about Moogs. I feel like that's the sort of thing I would know more about, but I really don't.
Don't worry, come low time, I got you covered.
Moogs, all right. Well, okay, so the Yardbirds, a band people know about. I Wish You Would, a song I don't know that people know very well. Not Taylor's version. That's a different I Wish You Would, I would assume. I've never listened to Taylor Swift's song, but I assume she wrote a different song.
She's definitely going to sue us if we try.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Let's see. So, yeah, here we go. Yardbirds. Yeah, again, not a big Yardbirds fan. I don't know a ton about them. It's got a lot of that kind of crunchy lo-fi sound
Right.
from the era that works really well for it. I think Bowie sped it up, uh,
By a bit. Yeah. Yeah.
cleaned it up a little bit. It doesn't have the lo-fi. It's more. I mean, it's the '70s. We're not gonna do that '60s thing anymore. The guitar riff really pushes it. It's not it's
It
a different
does. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a different feel from the original, and that guitar. I already forget who. You've thrown so many names at me for this one. I don't know who's playing the guitar on
This
this
one's
one.
a Mick Ron. I think
That's
it's
a
Mick
Mick.
Ronson. Yeah, it's a
Okay,
Mick. The only
that makes
difference is
sense.
the drummer on
Okay,
this one. And again, you can barely hear Mike Garcia. Like you can kind of hear him here and there, but he's not
not
really. He's
I
totally an
wouldn't.
afterthought.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think of that on this one. You're right. Bowie's doing another weird voice.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of this. Again, not that different, but it's Bowie's band playing it, and at least this sounds like a different take on the song.
Yeah, I know I said that I skipped this song, but I was kind of that's not entirely accurate. My feeling for this, and I want to go back and if you have anything more with your reaction to these things, don't I definitely want to include it. Even if we go back to the beginning.
Mhm.
My feeling of listening to this, especially because I have to tell myself this is a party album, otherwise I don't like it. But within that framework of like, hey, I'm at a kind of not great party thrown by some like parrot heads who don't annoy me too much. Like, like it's like, okay, fine, whatever. It's a choice. It's not troublesome. It doesn't bother me, but I'm not going to sit and listen to it.
It's
But
the kind of background music where maybe one person will go, "Huh, who is
oh
this?"
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
totally that kind of thing. Or even better for that kind of setting, it's more just like they give the host a look like, I got that one, you know.
oh,
Oh, yeah, you know that one
yeah,
too. Oh, hey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the Talking Heads? Oh,
We're
no, it
both
wasn't.
cool.
Oh, yeah, great. I like them.
So you've heard of the Talking Heads too? Okay, that means we can be friends and we can talk. Um, I think Roslyn and Here Comes the Night. I haven't ever been bothered by them much, other than just the kind of whatever nature of them.
Right,
But then when I heard the original versions of both, I was like, oh, they didn't do a whole lot, did they?
right, right.
Um, I wish you would. For some reason, I feel like again the very small amount of choices made, I think, improve the song.
I agree. Yeah, I like it. I like it better. Yeah, I like it better. That's the way I approached all of these songs was what are the differences? Which one do I like better? Or are they
Sounds like a certain
the
podcast that
same
people
damn
might
thing?
want to listen to called The Supreme Resort.
Sometimes that Walt Disney guy, sometimes he went to Florida and he'd just redo his old tracks. And he's like, "Hey, let's just do it bigger. How about
what
Star Tours, but instead of like 4, we've got like 6. How
what I'm
about that?"
looking forward to is how like I try not to do too many Disney parks references on this show, uh, but I'm sure there's some crossover audience, or I hope there is. I'm really looking forward to the first time you make a Bowie reference on the Supreme
It's going to be great. I like in particular making incorrect Disney references on here. I think Walt Disney covering his own albums is a great concept.
Right. Well, he wrote Zippity Doodah specifically for Splash Mountain. Um,
The
so
original version was much more racist.
it's nothing but racism.
Wow. He took another shot at it. He's like, "Oh, can't do that again."
I got your notes. I think you're right. I'll change this a little bit. Um, So did I? Is there anything from the previous tracks that I railroaded you through that?
No, no, no.
Okay,
That's
okay,
that's all I have for those. I have some more later, not much more on some of them.
oh, okay,
I have much more on some and nothing more on some.
perfect. That's
So
exactly what this
see,
album deserves.
there we go. See Emily Play. I feel like See Emily Play was Pink Floyd doing a David Bowie song.
Probably.
And I mean, it sounds like they were doing a send up of something from The Man Who Sold the World. And um and then Bowie is like, take that. I could do it too. I could do a song that I wrote.
Do you know the years on these?
That's one of the things I meant to look up, and I kept forgetting. Let's see,
67. So just before.
67. Yeah.
But yeah, and this, I don't know, the Bowie historian in me wants to put more emphasis on this than maybe needs to be given, mainly because, Syd Barrett and mental illness. And,
Right, right.
I know he was very, very fascinated by the madness of Syd Barrett, especially at this time. I think that's the only reason this track is on this album, mainly so he can do all the shit that he does to it. But then at the same time, when I listen to the original, let me skip towards the middle.
Yeah, get to the synth solo,
The freak out.
Yeah.
It's just Bowie just had better tools.
Right. But yeah, they've got some of that Mamas and Papas sound, some of that psychedelic 60s sound.
Right.
But it fits so well when Bowie takes it, and it's not a huge adaptation. He takes the Bewley Brothers sort of weird voices that they're doing.
Right.
In that, it's very Bewley Brothers in my take on it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But then this is where he goes back to that Aladdin Sane well and just does, like, takes that kind of rambly organ solo and makes, like, they just kill it.
Yeah.
I really, really like this version of See Emily Play.
Yeah, I think that this is, in my mind, there's always been a sort of parallel between this and Let's Spend the Night Together, in the sense of, like, okay, I'm going to take, like, the template of the original and I'm going to do what I think should have been done with it from the very beginning.
And this is what you want off of a cover album.
Right.
This is it. Like, I mean, there are a few others where he's made some pretty huge changes, but this one in particular is like, no, this is my take on your song.
Mm-hmm. And I think also, like, one of the reasons it took me so long to get here in my original listen was, and this listen took, like, well over at least a year, possibly 2 years, and it involves, like, repetition of the albums and going into other directions of, like, oh, this guitarist did this, I want to see, where, like, I know Robert Fripp also from his work with the charlatan David Sylvian, who I didn't know was a charlatan at the time. So I was like, I'm going to explore some of this stuff. And then when I got into the Eno stuff, I was like, I definitely need to. So it was like this big thing. And then when I finally was like, okay, I guess I'm going to listen to Pinups, I don't know why I'm not excited about this. I love the cover art. I love See Emily Play. Why am I not more excited about this? And I looked at the track listing and I'm like, because I've never heard of any of these other than Sorrow, because it was included on a collection, and I don't mind Sorrow. And if it's all like See Emily Play and Sorrow, that's really cool. But something tells me, based on these pictures I'm seeing on the back, it's definitely not. So I'm gonna hunker down and I'm just gonna eat my vegetables now.
I said I'd do it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like the Golden Zephyr. It's just like I've done literally everything else. I don't think I'm gonna hate it. If I was gonna hate it, the internet would have told me by now that I was going to hate it, right? Because I was involved with the message boards and everything. Like I would have heard that this is a dog shit album. So I know it's not that, but I also know that there's not a lot. There aren't a lot of nuts in this turd, is what I'm trying to say.
That's what everybody likes. That's the nuts.
That's what we turned for. What?
Oh man. All right. Yeah, so that's see Emily play. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
I think this is something so you said this was on a compilation along with Sorrow?
Yeah, the compilation, I mean, may as well get it.
I mean, there are tons of compilations out there, but I could see both of these being great standalone songs because they work great on their own.
The Bowie singles collection. Is it on here? Might not be on here.
It's all Laughing Gnome in different keys.
Remixes of Laughing Gnome. It's Dancing Gnome.
Dancing Gnome, sir.
This is Robot Gnome. This is no, you got it right.
It was Laughing Gnome.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. I know what I'm talking about. I have a podcast about David Bowie.
That's right. There was a collection that they put out in like 94, 5, 6, 2, the singles collection, and both of those songs were singles, which is baffling to me. But they were. I guess Spotify doesn't have it, but I did.
There you go.
I owned it one day.
Great.
Yeah, congratulations to me. I
like it. Let's see. Okay, so that's that. Pink Floyd did it first, but yeah, it does have a lot of Bowie sound to it from that time.
Oh, here's the soundtrack album for singles. Let's see.
Oh no, this is the movie singles.
Let's see. Let's hear some Screaming Trees.
Oh, I know this song.
Sounds dumb. I don't like it.
Probably just know it from like
singles,
Rock Band, or Guitar Hero.
For the movie Singles?
From the movie Singles? No, I've never seen the movie Singles.
Let's see. Let's find another one. Oh, Dio. Let's see. A Gypsy by Dio. Let's hear it. Hell yeah. All right. If you're wondering how to write the comment on Apple Podcast, just type what I'm going to say. These motherfuckers, for some reason, won't play a single David Bowie song on the podcast because one of them is paranoid about copyright stricken. However, they just played fucking Dio. 5 stars.
5 stars.
Just get the 5 stars in there. That's all I care about.
Make sure you click the 5 stars and write it in the description too.
Yes, 100%. Oh, and you can stop typing now. The end. Goodbye. Also, don't forget, it's Amon's fault that we're like this. So just, if you know her, let her know. Okay, so everything's all right.
Everything's all right. Feels very different. I kind of like this.
No notes.
I have two notes. Very different feel. Blends 70s groove with a 50s throwback on the alternate stanzas.
Yeah.
That's not really a judgment of it at all. I don't think I had much to judge.
Not this song.
I was going to say that this is not it.
This is very. He did a lot different with this song.
Wow. When I first saw it, I'm like, wait, everything's all right from Jesus Christ Superstar? Are you kidding me? No,
he made
not that
so
one.
many changes.
Vastly different.
First of all, he's a dude. Who recorded this stupid song? Uh, well, you looked into it. Is it Pretty
But
Things
I didn't
again?
write it down. For some reason I didn't. Well,
Oh,
here, let me pull up my playlist.
Who?
Does
It's
that
the Who. It's the Who.
this No, it's not the Who.
That's what his stupid nuts
Bowie's
say.
Pinups. Um Everything's all right. The Liverpool Five.
Liverpool. What the hell?
The Liverpool Five.
Those Liverpoolians.
There you go. Everything's all right.
All right.
And they put an apostrophe in there to make it cooler.
Here we go. Let's see what they did. The fuck?
You're playing the same song.
Oh, okay.
See, it's a pretty good song.
Oh, little baby, you know I've been away.
I like this.
Is the
I
most
like this
60s
better.
generic Brit rock.
I like this better. I like this a lot better, actually. And I hate this era of music. I think this is, for me, this is where Pinup starts to fall apart, because it feels to me like him, and not in a playful way, kind of going like, okay, well, what's a David Bowie version of this sound like?
Yeah, and he did a David Bowie version of it, which was it's interesting, but you're right. I think I like the original better. There's this drive to it, even though it's such a generic kind of song.
Yeah.
There's a great part at the end where it modulates, like it just drives bum 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 bum. Everything's all right. Like it's a good key change. It's fun. It's 2 minutes long. It's great for the radio. I bet a lot of people danced to it.
Yeah, I think that this recording of it, the Bowie recording of it, it's like, I think he was trying to make people like picture him like being dressed all slutty on stage and doing this song.
Okay.
Like and there's something wrong with that, but that's not
right.
That was a very small part of what he was doing.
Right. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Can't explain. Pick up the pace, Bowie. Damn it. My goodness. I don't like the Who's version of the song very much, but I like it better than his, where he's like, I can't explain. It's fine. That it's the kind of song where you can say it's fine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, this is a classic song. It's just
this is like
Who.
Yeah, it's like a mod version of a song about a car. It's just like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's nothing it is what it is for that time period. I'm using so many trite statements. It is what it is. It's fine.
Right.
But you're right. It's mod. It's perfect for its time period. I get why it was popular. And then Bowie's like, let's slow it down.
Should I do
it? Uh-oh. He might do it. He might actually play some David Bowie on this podcast. 2 seconds of it.
I mean, that right there, that actually was literally, wasn't planning on that, but I mean, that's all you need to, I present evidence, I present Exhibit A, Your Honor.
I mean, the sax is okay, but it's a very different sound, very different feel, and it just drags.
Yeah, and especially when in the parts that absolutely should not drag in the song, where it's just like, again, I think he's leaning too much into that sexy Bowie thing, where it's just like, yeah, we get it, but we're not here for that.
I can't explain.
Yeah, it's kind of it's
okay.
Yeah, like I get what you're trying to do, but it didn't land.
Right. Moving on to side 2, Friday on My Mind. I dig this song.
Oh, really?
I really like this song, especially the original, by the Easy Beats. Yeah. Oh, Peter Frampton did it too.
Monday morning feels so bad.
Yeah, I like this version a lot better.
Everybody seems to nag.
I mean,
It's like
just by
manic.
hearing this amount. Yeah,
Coming
yeah.
Tuesday, I feel better. Even my old man looks good. Wednesday just don't go. Thursday goes too slow.
I think this version serves the lyrics a lot better.
Yeah. Bowie's doing his Bowie voice again. He's putting on one of his voices. He maintains some of the mania in the verses. It's when he gets to the chorus and he's like, "Oh, look at my girl, she's so pretty."
Yeah.
Like, okay.
A lot of it reminds me of hold on. I got it.
I to the listener, I just love seeing Dan's suggested
it is such a
playlist
cross section
on YouTube.
It is absolutely a cross section of so much. So this is Bowie on Conan O'Brien.
Hickory dickory dock.
This is him doing a David Bowie version of Hickory Dickory Dock. And the reason I'm playing this is it's like you can tell that there's an awareness of this is how David Bowie does things. And I don't know that it's necessarily the same, but this clip has always been hard for me to watch because it's like, okay, maybe at your worst, this is what you do, but you really just usually just do stuff that's interesting.
Hickory dickory dock. Do I see this one through?
Yeah.
The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1. The mouse ran down. Hickory dickory.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That clip always comes to mind when in these moments where it's like, okay, I understand what you're doing. This phenomenon is also why I don't like Hook, the movie. Because
Dustin.
No, because by the way, you missed an excellent opportunity to do a spit take.
No, I'm not surprised that you don't like Hook because I know a lot of people that don't like Hook that don't have a particular affection for it. So
I don't like Hook, and the reason why it hit me when I was watching it the first time in theaters, because I'm super fucking old. And I was like, I don't know. It has everything I should like, right? It's like, there's so much about it I should like. And there's nothing actually wrong with this movie. But then at some point I was just like, oh, I know what's going on here. It's Steven Spielberg making a Steven Spielberg movie. Instead of just Steven Spielberg making a good movie, it's him going, okay, and now there's going to be that special Spielberg glow. Or
here's where the funny take happens,
right,
during the action sequence,
right? And it's felt like, I don't know that it was done in a paint by numbers way, and I don't think this was either. But it's more just like that like, okay, you're leaning in too much on what we know about you. You need to do something else. And
right.
I think that might be, maybe, I don't know for sure, I have no research on this, but maybe this album is part of why he, after this, did so many abrupt changes. Like the next album, the next thing that is new is so new that there's no way that even if he did try to lean in on some of the air quote Bowieisms, it would probably stay under the radar because everything else is so different.
You're really playing this up in a way I'm like, I kind of want to listen to Diamond Dogs right now. I'm
not going to stop you.
We got a few more songs. Sorrow.
But actually, after this recording would not be a bad time for you to listen to Diamond Dogs. But you got to listen to it. It's a journey.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I'm letting you know now, though, I don't like the first track either. I mean, no, that's not true. I do like the first track. I don't like the title track, and neither do most people.
Okay. Do you like are the creatures the diamond dogs? Do you like them?
From the cartoon?
No, from the cover. Are those things the diamond dogs, and do you like them? Two separate questions.
No, they are not. And they terrify me.
Good. Okay. All right. Glad we've got that out of the way.
In fact, the world that the album is painting is pure nightmare fuel for me, and I love it.
Okay, I'm getting a sense of what to expect. All right, Sorrow by the Mercies, great '60s band name, misspelled in a way that no one would ever spell.
Oh, down here,
anything. Yeah, Mercies.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've heard the original version.
It's boring. It's just a '60s song. Not sorrow. There you go. Keep going.
It's hard to type around the thing. Here we
keep
go.
looking.
Here it is. This is it.
Oh, you picked a completely different. I don't know what this is.
I don't know either. By the way, I don't know if you've listened to the past episodes yet, but I'm still really proud of myself for putting the wrong version of Changes under our Changes.
I really should go back and listen.
You should.
To that.
I do some. I won't say good audio fuckery, but I do some audio fuckery.
Okay,
yeah, very happy about.
I have problems listening to my own stuff, especially after editing so many of my shows. But I really should listen because I want to, because I forget so much of what I say the moment I say it on these shows.
Well, and
I should listen back.
Honestly, some of the narrative arc stuff that I was talking about really gets me when I listen to, like, I think I remember I was listening to our Man Who Sold the World album our Man Who Sold the World episode came out while I was editing our Aladdin Sane episode. And it was like so different things happening in Bowie's life at this time. It's like, here's him, up and coming and happy, and like everything's kind of, it's all going in the right direction. And then Aladdin Sane, it's like, such a good album, but oh god, I feel for this guy. Mercies, here we go.
RSEYs, yeah. MERSEY.
Oh yeah, no.
It's boring. It's just a boring regular '60s song.
All right, Mercies, fucking come to us. I don't care. Wait, is this the actual version, or is this a shitty like?
No, that's it.
Art compilation. Oh my god,
that is legitimately it.
You is sorrow.
Oh god.
Sorrow. You're acting funny.
Ooh, that hurts me.
Top 10 is the. I don't know.
Have you ever listened to the White Town album?
The what now?
White Town album?
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, you know this song.
Oh yes. Okay, I do know that. All right.
Okay. So, album comes out. This album is a source of endless fascination for me. Okay. So we got that. Now, I'm going to play, which one do you want to hear? White Town, Undressed, or next June? And
think next about June.
Okay. And which one do you think will sound the most like that, or that You're a Woman?
I'm going to say all three.
Okay. You would think, right?
Okay. Oh, so they're one of these bands.
Yeah. I wouldn't say bands. It's a dude.
Okay.
Okay, so you picked the wrong door. You have two more to pick. Which one do you think will actually sound the way you expect White Town to sound?
Then I guess Undressed.
Okay. Kind of, but not in a good way, you know?
Okay.
By the way, if you hear anyone using these sounds off of a keyboard in anything you're listening to, you are allowed to press stop immediately.
Leave the party.
Yeah.
Pour your wine cooler on the floor and leave.
Because it would be
on
a
the
wine
stereo.
Let me out.
On the iPod.
And
No, it's
before
the
you
90s.
leave, do a double decker in their toilet. Okay.
So White Town is the same?
Let's see. Nope.
Nope. Okay, so it's this kind of thing where he made it big with the one, and then everything else is just completely different.
I think he has a producer friend who did a really, really good mix of a shitty folk song that he had called Your Woman, and he really wanted to put it out, and he's just like, well, I have these like 3 demo tapes that no one will listen to. I guess I'll just put them all out as an album.
So this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting more of the like, well, the popular song is the popular song, but the rest were actually really good, but in a completely different way.
No, this
They're
is the
just
opposite
bad.
of that. This is
They're
absolutely this is not a Meat Beat Manifesto situation. This is a White Town situation.
Oh.
So anyway, Sorrow, vast improvement.
Vast improvement. Bowie makes this an actually good song. His performance is bouncy. It has character. It has something interesting happening with his voice.
Yeah.
The sax is great. It's high. It's kind of crunchy. It works well with the piano that kind of floats throughout. It's a really well done song versus this thing that just kind of was.
Well, and it's oddly structured, kind of like Aladdin Sane, in that it's song, and then kind of endless piano stuff.
Yeah.
Which I'm no complaints there. But I think that actually Sorrow, I think, nails what this album could be kind of perfectly, because he does enough of the over the top doo-wop-y stuff where it's like, like you can see him making that like David Bowie jokey face into the microphone as he's doing it. But
it's still fun and it still works.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's also hitting a balance where it's like, this could be sincere, you know?
Yeah.
Don't Bring Me Down.
Don't Bring Me Down. The original is a fun Brit-pop take on blues. When the Brits were like, hey, have you heard the music from those African Americans? They didn't call them that in that time period.
They certainly didn't. Sorry, I'm just going to keep to it.
Don't bring me. I do really like ELO, so, you know. I love this song. This is not the song, and neither is it the David Bowie song.
Okay, it's this one.
Nope.
It's not?
No. Pretty
Wait.
Things.
Oh, Pretty Things. Okay, hold on. That one was legitimate.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, this one wins.
Yep, it does. Bowie, I wrote, so far, Bowie is just doing an old Elvis impression.
But old as in, like, has been, like, hackneyed, but not the fun old Elvis where he's addicted to, like, prescription pills.
Right. Yeah, the boring era.
Right.
And then I wrote, not much has changed from the original song. I skipped a few lines. Yep. He continues through the whole thing.
I almost feel like you deserve to listen to Diamond Dogs tonight after this recording. Hold on, I'm going to do it again.
No. We're sorry, Iman.
You got to give us the rights, or otherwise we'll just keep doing this. See, I'm just picturing this as a song in an Elvis movie, and it totally fits. Like he's doing that thing.
He's on a beach.
He's pointing to Anne Margaret right now. He's on top of a car. By the way, I knew these references when I was actually young. Like, I don't want anyone to think that, like, oh, he's old because he knows Elvis references. Like, no, I knew this shit when I was 17. So stop. Sorry, getting older is starting.
Dan is that cool.
I no, I've always been this uncool, is what I'm trying to
say. Shapes of Things by the Yardbirds. He made it kind of sound militant, is what I wrote. It's a little trippy, in Bowie's version, but it's got that kind of,
yeah.
It's got that driving beat anyway.
I do enjoy the part where he goes, "Come tomorrow," and it's almost like, oh, the good parts of the album are back, you know?
Oh yeah, that kind of backward, like the
right.
backwards reverb effect. Yeah. I wrote that down. I like that. That works well.
Yeah, and I think that the reason I keep laughing is every time I see the title or hear the title or think about the title, I really want it to just be a song about shapes of things. There's a door. It's a rectangle.
An orange is round.
Yeah.
It's round.
And I know it's not going to be that, but then like every time the way the song sets itself up, it's like, maybe that's going to happen. It's like that driving, like, this very well could be. Like, yeah. Like, but it's not, so it sucks.
Oh, well.
It's just like
I saw a car drive. It was shaped like a car. What?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I'm actually thinking that level of specificity. Like, the car is shaped like a car, and my cat is shaped like a cat. Like,
David, yes. We all know those shapes.
Like, just that level of
so
stupid.
On the nose.
Yes. That level of just completely stupid. I want that song to exist.
I wrote great guitar solo in quotes. And then I wrote, is it supposed to lose steam at the end?
Oh, hold on. Since we've cracked open this, by the way, I am not going to astrify these. It's just going to be what it is. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Sure. It's just kind of like,
bump,
and we're
bump,
done.
Bump, bump.
It reminds
you're still recording? Oh, sorry.
It reminds me of that really good a line from Spinal Tap. I think it might be from the commentary track, which, by the way, if you haven't watched Spinal Tap with the commentary track, you need to do that right now.
I actually have not.
They do it in character.
Oh, good.
And they talk about how this director just did a hit piece on them. and the director made them look stupid on purpose is basically the point.
Oh my, of course.
But yeah, you know, at the end of all their songs, they all end with da-na. And during the commentary, one of them even says like, and that's how you know the song's over. Which is true.
True, yes.
Anyway, anyhow, anywhere, unless you have more shapes that you want to talk about.
No more shapes. I think this is Bowie doing his impression of The Who.
Oh, yes.
Even the drum fills sound like he's impersonating Keith Moon. This new drummer fellow. Billy Joel.
What's the name of the actual? Anyway, anyhow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyhow.
Okay.
Anywhere. Very surprised you didn't play Boston.
I think at this point, and again, I know that this album wasn't recorded sequentially, but if it were, it would make so much sense. We get here and it's just like, fuck it, let's just play this song.
Right. Because he does it again in the last one. Where have all the good times gone by the Kinks?
There we go. Found it. This is where have all the good times gone by Paula Cole. And by the way, have you ever heard the song "Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy"?
I have heard that song. Yes.
Have you ever seen it performed in karaoke?
No.
It is never not performed aggressively at karaoke.
I bet.
Heads up. Here we go. Here's the actual thing. Oh, yeah, this is just straight up a cover.
Yeah,
I mean, like, it's...
There's no drive to the original song. There's no drive to Bowie. I wrote nothing. He ended an entire album with a nothing song. There's no Bowie flair. There's not even a take on the Kinks. Yeah. Nothing. My next bullet point is blank.
Perfect. And, of course, this is a rewrite of this song. By the way, Pete Seeger estate, if you try to sue us for this shit, I will debate lord you to hell and back.
Oh. What's Van Halen's version like?
Ooh. Okay, what are you picturing for Van Halen version? What are you thinking?
I don't know. They might be trying to do a Kinks.
Whoa.
I think this is, I don't remember if this is what's his face, the good one or the douchebag.
Hey, go.
I don't remember if this is Van Hagar or the other one. I think it's the other one. What's the other one's name?
Eddie Van Halen?
No, the singer.
Oh, the singer.
The Justice Gigolo guy.
Oh gosh, what? We're bad at 80s.
I'm perfectly fine with that. God damn it, what is his name? Call it in. It's 856. Sorry.
I did that in the Supreme Resort. I at some point I'm like, where in our last version that we just released today or tomorrow, we were discussing something and David and I got something completely wrong. And I said, if you know the correct answer to this, call in at 856 our ears. And Mike lost it. Mike, the owner of the company, lost it.
That's awesome. Okay. Wait. So what are you imagining? Oh, it's okay. It's Hagar, I think. What are you imagining this will be?
I don't know. Van Halen has some, I don't know much about them, but they have surprised me with some of their early stuff where there's a little bit of a jazz feel to it. And like, they've got some interesting stuff. So maybe this is their take on the Kinks.
I honestly don't remember. Let's see. Coming up, we got traffic and weather. Then we're going to go over all of the sports scores. Check it out. It's Rocktober here on Bowiesplaining.
All my life I never stopped to worry about a thing.
It's the the other guy? What the hell is his name? Yeah, it's. I think that version wins out of all.
That wasn't
of them.
too bad. Yeah.
Just a David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth. My goodness.
Yeah. Wow.
I really should know that. But yeah, that wasn't a bit. That was pretty good.
I feel like not knowing David Lee Roth off the top of your head is kind of the same as not knowing like Rowdy Roddy Piper off the top of your head. It's like, it's fine.
No one's going to be that upset.
Yeah, and no one expects you to. And it's almost like, oh, you didn't need to. Like, I'm surprised that I just knew Rowdy Roddy Piper. I think maybe they're the same person in my head, if I'm being really honest.
I mean, he's no Macho Man Randy Savage.
No.
Who most people should know.
Right. Or Jake the Snake. It's a real guy. You don't know about Jake the Snake?
I know he's a real guy. I used to watch wrestling when I was when I was a young.
If you're here for the actual Bowie content, I feel like we might lose you because we're going to start looking up Jake the Snake. But hold on, Jake.
Monthly check-in and theme park talk, theme park obsession. He's standing in a field somewhere. What are you doing? Who is that person? Don't look at that video. I don't want to see it. Oh, Jake the Snake. I forgot about Jake the Snake.
A match is at hand.
Well, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Here we are at WrestleMania, and it's the biggest match of your career. Why?
It's still real to me.
Because everything you stand for is on the line, namely the $1 Million Belt. Oh, yeah. It can be yours once again. You see, all you have to do to get it back is go through Damien and me.
You have seen the It's Real to Me, damn it, clip, right?
I don't believe so, no.
Oh my God, Eric, you are missing out.
Oh no.
Real to me. Damn it. There we go. If you feel like now is a good time for you, I mean, you're of course welcome to continue listening, but we will understand if you
please download the rest of the episodes so we get a full download out of it.
Oh, totally.
Next question, Jeff, where are you? Right there.
Yeah. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all.
The voice crack, by the way, that is awesome.
Wow.
He's trying to hold it together, and he's, I can't. All right, here we go. Start again.
Next question, Jeff, where are you? Right there.
Yeah. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it! I mean, thank you.
Easy, man.
Thank y'all guys. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Funk, for saying what needed to be said. I don't want to see another one of these.
Well, thank
Doesn't want to see. I don't. You know what? I don't want to know the context. I'm good.
That clip so
Oh gosh.
I love that clip so much. It's the best. Have you seen? Hold on. Oh, here we go. Shaquille O'Neal. Again, if you want to leave the episode, just download the whole thing.
5 stars.
5 stars. Don't mention this part. And this is another one that I refuse to admit how much time I've spent just watching this on repeat. But it's a lot. No copyright. You don't need the music. See?
It's just Shaq doing his wiggle and a
Shaq
cat
wiggling
also
and
doing
a cat
the
wiggling.
wiggle.
And it's as though they're looking at each other. So wonderful. All right. It's still real to me, damn it. Well,
that's the album, folks.
That's the album. I truly do hope that Diamond Dogs will be collectively less than 3 hours. I really, really hope to get there. Um,
No.
it might not.
You start taking notes now. Diamond. I'm starting
No,
the page.
don't yeah.
Bugs.
Give it a listen. Do you want to? What? Okay. Do you want anything from me before you? Because I feel like you're going to listen to it tonight. Okay.
No. So I'm gonna do a first impressions like
Okay.
I did with Pinups. Although my first impression was just I'm not sure I like this album. And then I'll do what I usually do and listen to it obsessively many, many times and probably actually look up the lyrics. I didn't look up the lyrics for Pinups because why?
Yeah, there's not much of a reason to.
But yeah, I won't look up any of the backgrounds as usual. I'll look at your notes beforehand. I'll familiarize myself with the setup.
That will actually help make it so that it's not 3 hours. It's not more than 3 hours long. Again, not an assignment. It's just like it's, and probably anytime we get to one of my top 5 albums, it's gonna be, this is where you're gonna see me being like an actual David Bowie fan.
Okay.
Whereas before I was just like, yeah, it's okay. It's whatever. It's good.
It's a rich tapestry.
Yeah. But the ones that and I'm sure this will not be a surprise to you. The ones that I care deeply about, I care very deeply about, but you're allowed to not like. I understand that there are, I'm not going to be an impossible person about it, but there's a lot there. I fucking love this album.
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure there will be a point when you're listening to it the first time where you, in knowing my aesthetic, will be like, okay, we're here.
I will gird my loins for this
get
experience.
Listener, sorry we missed. I don't know how far behind we are, but
we're actually not. I mean, it depends on how quickly you turn this one around. It's literally been. It was April 4th the last time I posted stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're trying to shoot for 3 weeks, so we're a little behind, but not in a way that like, I mean, we had stuff, so we have reasons.
Yeah,
but
we've had a few 4 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure, I don't think anyone's watching their clock or their calendars where they're like, I don't think anyone has a Bowiesplaining nativity calendar, although if you want us to make one, we will.
Well, yeah, gladly.
Chocolate not included.
Provide your own treats.
I mean, we don't know what kind of situation you have. Maybe you're a family of dogs listening to this, and if we have chocolate, we could kill you. We don't want to do that.
That is fair. Oh yeah.
But my point is not, I know you've been clamoring by your podcast radio waiting for the next episode. I am just acknowledging person making a thing to people listening to a thing. I'm aware that we're behind. We are aware that we're behind, and we're sorry if that means anything to you. It probably doesn't, and that's great. Anyway, thank you for listening. And anything else you want to say, Eric, besides give us $2?
Have a Bowiesplaining day.
Yeah. And I got to figure out where to hit stop on this. I can hit stop share. I'm not going to edit this part out at all. All right. Bye-bye. We love you.